Oh, well, I guess it helps if I don't have my microphone muted, huh? So, welcome back, everybody. We are just getting started. We are continuing the figure drawing, I guess, challenge, if you want to call it that. We've done 28 so far. And we have two left. Two left for this little batch. And then we're going to do 20 from imagination. That's going to be the hard part, like the really hard part. So, I'm trying to do like hard poses here in hopes that when I do my own, it won't be so hard. All right, there we go. Just had to get some things set up real quick. I think we're ready to go now. My reference. So if you weren't in the last stream, the references, well, okay, these 30 that we're doing are from comic book reference because they're very dynamic. It's actually from the Masters of Anatomy book, which I highly recommend in the printed format, but not the digital format because they have really bad DRM, and that's not cool. But the book is amazing, so that's what we're using. So I have a few picked out that we're going to use. Forgot to pull up my chat real quick so I can monitor for spam as we go through this. And then if you are here, if you want to ask questions, please do. This is much more fun with audience interaction. All right, so we're going to kick off the first one here. If you don't know this program, it is called Rebel. It is a great program that tries to mimic real media. So if you are coming from a place that's a real media background, you might feel at home with Rebel. And if you are in the chat, please say hello. All right, this is my first drawing of the day, so I'm kind of getting. I'm gonna warm up in these whole two from reference real fast. As much as I can warm up in two quick little figures. Oh wow, what is that? What is that? That is not black. Let's go back. There you go. Hello. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. I'm trying to just pay attention to how this body breaks down. That's one thing I like about comic books. Um, the artist I'm trying to learn from is very good at drawing from imagination because they know how to break down the body into little pieces. And that's what I'm trying to learn from these guys. This is why it feels weird to me. I'm using the wrong pen. Let's change this. Oh, that feels better. Okay, sorry. I had the wrong physical pen. I'm using a Cintiq, and I have many pens for it, and I thought something just felt off. Wasn't what I was expecting. It's like when someone hands you a drink and say you're expecting coffee and it's actually soda. Even if you like the soda, it still throws you off. I think I always draw this too far away, I think. And I think I'm finally starting to understand why. Because one of the comic book artists that I'm trying to follow, which he's amazing, he draws a very short rib cage because that's what he's focused on what you actually see. And I am kind of drawing more the rib cage as it would be, at least the best that I understand it. And that's kind of messing me up then because I'm leaving a gap like the comic book guy would. And then I end up drawing a really long torso and I have to fix it. So hopefully this will fix it. And I'm trying to use a really a building block method because I think that's how you get used to drawing from imagination and have it actually being correct. I probably should have started with like a really loose gesture, but I didn't. Just got to make it work. If you have any questions on the program at all, please just let me know. The danger of just looking at comic book artists are that they don't always draw things accurately. Sometimes they exaggerate. Sometimes it's just accidental because they have to draw fast, and it takes a lot of skill to do some of this stuff. But they have such amazing dynamic poses. If you can learn how to do it realistic and have the dynamic poses, that's what I want. So we're gonna do the knee, and then we'll work backwards. It's certainly okay to be messy at this point because you can always go back and fix it and erase it. Oh, one more. I need to let someone else know. Let someone else know that we're on. 1 second. All right, we continue. I forget that I joined several artistic groups on Discord so I can start meeting some art friends. So I really don't have many art friends. I have friends, but ironically, I don't know if any of them really draw, or they used to. Maybe they don't anymore. So I had to go try to meet some art friends. I like to harp on this, but I'm really trying to imagine this in 3D. Imagine what it's doing and how far it's going back into space. Hmm. I still made this torso too long. It's a thing that I do, a thing that I struggle with. But maybe not, actually. This is raised, which means this is actually seated lower. So maybe I didn't. Maybe I made it just right. Let's see. Yeah, I did make it too big. It always happens. You're just going to erase it like you would if you had a real pencil and piece of paper. That is one of my goals. I want to practice a method that works with real media. But I've got to get the size relationship down with the torso, the full body torso. Got to get this down. It's going to make it quite a challenge when I go to draw from imagination. Just trying to figure this positioning out. This is a dynamic pose that we're looking at. All right, let's go ahead and throw some other references in to help figure this out. Tell you, those spammers on YouTube get you pretty quick. They get started fast. Now I really see why people have moderators so much. They really need them. Let's clean up this real fast. Have a nice little arm going in the back there. Very good. If you are joining us and you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we'll just keep on going. I really find it works well to get the action line of the arm in and then put the hand on the end. Because then the arm is just a simple few lines at that point. Just make sure you overlap things correctly so it looks like it's actually going back into space. Overlap is huge, huge as it relates to perspective and placement of items, objects. Oh, interesting. You know, now I'm second guessing myself. I actually think I had the torso correct before. So we're just going to have to make this work though. So I'm not going to redraw the whole thing. And I refuse to just digitally fix it. I'm just going to adjust it as we go. It's kind of very, very loosely blocking in the hair. Come back to that later because I feel like we're going to have to adjust a few things. I think we're going to have to. I try to figure out the clavicle. Is that correct, right? It would come off, the deltoid would come off like this. Now I haven't, well, if you're new to the channel, you'll know I'm trying to go back through a lot of the basics, and I haven't really gone through the deep anatomy yet, so I'm just kind of going off what I've known in the past. Yeah, this is just not correct. Let's, I think I was actually right before. It looked like it was too long, but if I would have just carried through with it, I think it would have been right. So my instincts at first, I think were correct. Guess that's part of the learning process, huh? I'm trying to learn how to use this David Finch method, although I guess he learned it from some kind of manga something or other. But I don't know that, so I know it as the David Finch method of figuring out where the chest goes on the females. You want to make sure you're imagining this on top of a round object, which is the ribcage. That's going to affect the shape and how it lays. I'm going to be careful with how it lays on the ribcage, because it is moving. And it's not a hard object, it's a soft object that will flatten out and so on. It's actually not bad. Not bad for my first one. What do you think? Do some small adjustments here. So I love this building block method because it really allows you to, or I guess it helps you to understand what's going on with the form. Because my goal is to be able to draw the form doing whatever I want, whenever I want. And it's hard enough just thinking about it in perspective, but using the simple shapes and the block-in method, and you come back to the form afterward, and you make all the adjustments you need to. Even if you were using pencil, you do the same process. If you're using pencil and paper. You would just draw lightly at first. I feel like that's coming out too much. It's got to come down. I would show you the reference that I'm using, but I can't because I'm using the Masters of Anatomy, which I don't even have a camera to show the book. Because I don't recommend the digital version. Even though I'm sure it'd be handy. They just make it that there's all these DRM tools to where, like, it doesn't even allow you to take a screenshot anymore if you have it open. I was so upset when I got that. I actually returned the digital copy, so I am using my physical copy, which is fantastic. But how would you like that? Like, you buy a program, you buy a resource, a book, and they have such strong DRM that it locks your computer down, and you cannot take video, and you can't take screenshots, you can't copy anything. So like the clipboard doesn't work. And I'm like trying to copy like a URL and send it to a friend, couldn't do it because I had the PDF open with all this crazy lockdown stuff on there. So thankfully they were really good about giving me a refund. Thankfully. So I don't think they're bad people or anything like that. They just really want to make sure no one takes their stuff. So I am certainly not going to show anything on here. You can just see my bad representation of it. Okay, I've got to put in some of the facial features. Now we're not doing a full face here. We're just kind of blocking it in. But she's looking down, and I'm going to draw across the whole head as if it's a 3D object. So if you think about it, the face, I mean, it isn't even just flat, right? It's not just flat, it curves a little bit, not a lot. I'm exaggerating it for the sake of clarity. But it curves to it, right? So the eyes are going to curve around. And then we're just going to indicate kind of where this line's in here, where this falls in. That's it. but now we can pay more attention to where the hair should be. You know, I'm really excited when we get to move past this stuff because I want to explore everything this program can do. This Rebel. It's truly, truly an awesome thing. And I'm hoping the things that I learn will translate to real medium. You know, like I'm going to learn watercolor and oil and gouache and all this stuff. And so I'm going to use this program to just try to practice the same techniques. And then maybe a year from now, we'll be able to see if it actually worked. All right. Sadly, the people that normally are here that ask me questions are not here. They had errands to run, which means I'm just talking to myself. Hmm. Let's do a little more cleanup. Then we'll add some shadow using the wonderful, amazing watercolor tools. Now I'm having to adjust when I'm drawing this, and you should be as well. If you're looking at reference, make sure you're really trying to understand the reference, especially if you're trying to learn from it. You're not just trying to do a representative copy, because I'm not trying to do a perfect representation of what I was looking at. I'm just trying to get an idea for the body and give me some practice forming the female body. And so I'm just trying to think through the various shapes and structure. And this one, because I'm talking, I'm just kind of following his shading right now. But I find on the rough sketches that I'm looking at in this book, they're not always lit correctly, but sometimes they are, and sometimes they're most definitely not. So you have to be aware of that. So you can, if you want to do it realistically, you have to adjust it. So we're just laying in some mass shadow, and then once we do so, these little overlaps will go away because it's like watercolor, so it's going to all meld together. But we paused it, you know, because we're using realistic techniques, and in real life you can pause water, right? Can't you do that? That's why I'm doing this. I suppose in a way this is also teaching brush economy because you don't have to scribble back and forth a whole bunch. You just lay down the shadow and move on. Yeah, see, I don't know why he has a shadow there of all things. Some of the shadow doesn't make sense to me in this sketch that I'm looking at. I'm going to add some extra because I want to shade the side. I think that knee would be in better shadow. All right. See how that just melts away all that water? Love it. All right, let's dry the page. Look how much of a difference that makes. Just a little bit of shadow, a little bit of lighting makes such a difference. It's the amazing thing about artwork. Actually, what's really amazing is if you watch this and fast forward and you get to see it come to life so fast. That's cool. That's really cool. All right, here's 29. There you go. All right, we're going to do one more. All right, we have another one to do now. It's got my reference, got a new pose that we're going to use. I'll see if we can be more loose with this. Even though I messed this up a lot, I like to start with the torso because it's the main part of the body. I might have to shorten this up a little bit just because of oh, whoops. How about we cut this to a new layer? There you go. We'll flatten that. Now we will just draw on this one thing. I'm going to raise this up a tiny bit. There you go. Let's see if we can get the leg completely in this one. It's a very upright pose. Sometimes these upright poses can be more challenging. Very weird how that is. So I'm drawing the shoulder on the other side. So again, you want to think of this like a 3D object. So just working through it bit by bit here. If you have to, you can draw it dark and then lighten the layer. It'd be just the same thing as in real life. You could make some erasing. And so this video is going to take the place of the proper video that I was doing a video every week. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Let's erase this. I was doing a video every week on a new topic. like a proper YouTube video, 10 to 20 minutes or whatever. And the problem with that is I don't have a lot of time. I really don't. And I need to make the most of it. Frick. Okay, sorry about that. I really have to make the most of my time. And I have some long-term goals of growing this channel through doing the live streams and things like that. So I love being able to help people. It's nice. It's nice being able to give advice and show people things, and it's really nice actually be able to really work with people and find out where they're struggling and really give them some proper advice that's suitable for them specifically. But at least here we can chat. I can give some small demonstrations and otherwise have some fun. And so I want to get through a bunch of these studies because I want to move on to doing some personal projects I want to do in addition to helping people out. In addition to doing a whole bunch of study, I have a whole bunch of study. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my formal videos. I talk about my artistic goals and what exactly I'm doing. And it's gonna take years to get through the plans that I have. And that's assuming I'm actually putting in the time to study. Now in this case, I'm gonna take a break from that for a second. We have the back coming this way. We're seeing that part of the back. We're seeing the back of the figure. There you go. We're seeing the back of the figure. But then the pelvis is turned. So now we're looking at the front plane. Well, we can see the front plane from the side. So you want to twist this. This is where being able to draw the 3D shapes really helps. And trying to use a method I'm not used to using. I'm much more used to just, I guess, observational type drawing, where you're just watching and trying to copy what you see, which is a very good skill to have. But I want to use more constructive drawing techniques. Okay, now we see if we can fit this leg in here all the way. All right. So I want to be able to continue these studies while having time to work on my projects, because that's one thing. It's like I need to advertise these, but I don't want to advertise my studies. I want to advertise just the YouTube channel. And I'm not really putting out new projects at the moment, so I need to be able to get back to doing that. And I find the putting out the proper, I guess what I call the proper YouTube videos, it takes a lot of time that I would rather be spending. I'm going to lengthen this leg here. I would rather be spending on my projects. I almost guarantee I'm gonna lighten this down at the end and draw on top of it, which is what I would do probably anyways. I like to draw loose and almost like a scribble. If you've ever seen the book How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, I remember that was my first real book as a kid, a long time ago now, and I really loved one of the examples of how to draw the figure where it was just like a scribble. They drew Thor and they drew someone else. I don't even know who the female was, but they did it in a very, very scribbly style. It's like, that's so cool. I feel like it's much easier to feel out the form and discover the proper shapes when you do it that way. Now, I'm obviously not scribbling the way I just described. They're being far more loose. And this is a horrible tangent right here. I'll see if maybe I can address this. Now it's going to be nice when I have a camera on there. That way you can see my dog. My dog just came in. I'm very lucky to have a dog who actually, for some reason, attached to me. I'm not quite sure I deserve it, but it's awesome. So as I get through these projects, I'm really excited. Like, I have a ton of pictures I want to paint, tons and tons and tons of pictures, but I need to work on those, and I don't want to stop the studies at the same time. And I just had to realize that putting out a proper video every week just wasn't going to cut it with my other artistic goals. So I might still do them. They just won't be as often. I'm hoping I can actually grow this though. I'm hoping people will watch. We can start having conversations because it's fun. It's really fun. But I think it's going to really start growing when I can actually grow my social media a bit. I need to put the knee joint to better see where it is. Okay, gotta see this knee joint better. I've been doing digital. Oh, maybe that fixes two things at once. I can fix the tangent. Bring the leg back a little more. We'll fix the back too. I've been digitally painting for a long time, and I feel like I've kind of adopted perhaps a little bit of a painterly approach because it's so easy to fix things digital. Like, I like to explore concepts and draw on top of it and like just fix it. Anytime you need to, you just change it. No worries. It's digital, there's no worries about anything. And that's one reason why I want to use realistic techniques, actually, because it's so easy to fix things. I feel like it can get you into bad habits. Okay, so I'm going to erase. That was a line for the muscle in the reference, but if I'm looking at it from a constructive method, I like what David Finch does where he draws the top like of the knee. I'm not maybe it would go like this because it kind of comes out. Just helps to place everything. Once I really master the leg anatomy, I'll be able to do this part better. But I still want to make an attempt. Yeah, so eventually we're gonna be doing everything in this program. Full blown paintings, full blown illustrations. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're watching this, I hope you stick around. And even afterward, feel free to leave comments, ask questions. Did Did I just grab that? There you go. Now this is the one thing I will allow myself to. I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Let's. There you go. Let's move this. I need some room because I really want to draw the whole figure here. There you go. Something like that. It's not bad. I like that so far. And actually, I really like the torso height and the pelvis height and everything. It's not bad. If anything, I think the head it feels off right now. We'll fix that. I can hit the right hotkey. Just lighten this down a little bit. But I don't want to take it all the way down. I still want to see what I had. So I just want to make a correction to it. But first, let's draw the arms. So the arms coming out at you. Now this is one part I really struggle on is the back anatomy. And I try to learn it from the comic book guy that I mentioned. And I'm still not quite getting it, so I'm just gonna kind of fake it for now. And when we hit anatomy real hard, which is gonna be real soon, we will master this. All right, this arm's coming out at you, so there's gonna be a lot of foreshortening. And things getting bigger. And it's where we want it to end roughly here. So something around there. So I like using the cross sections. It helps you again to keep track of that 3D nature of what you're drawing. And then let's draw the spatula of the hand. That's going like that. This is the top of the hand, top of the back of the hand. And then this heroine, this superhero, has her fingers up. It's kind of a weird, it's a weird position. But I think these are meant to be like right at you. And this one kind of similar. That just doesn't look right. Let's see. Got the thumb coming down. Got the pinky. I guess it has to get bigger, huh? Like it's really gonna have to get bigger if it's gonna look right. Okay. Maybe I can make this work. Okay, if this is coming out, That's a weird hand, man. That's weird. What if I change this? Let's have this finger going up too. It's just a strange looking hand. I can't. Why did the reference do this? Okay, I can't stand that. Okay, I've got to just change it. I can't stand that. We'll be doing some really intense studies of hands as well. I'm not happy with how that's looking. So we're gonna experiment a bit. Oh, that's cool. Let's do something that just looks better for now. Because that did not look very good. It's gonna have to work. So I can't make the other one work. And I'm not doing a hardcore hand study yet. We will be doing a challenge on hands though. 100 complicated hands. That'll be after anatomy. So we are going to master each one of these things. So don't be afraid to erase and just make changes. It's all right. That hand really, I still don't like that hand, to be honest. In fact, it's like she's showing you her nails or something. It's not heroic. Let's make it come more at you, which means it needs to get bigger. What if she's just pointing one finger? I think I'm much happier with that. Okay, now the back shoulder, or her right shoulder is visible in the background. I'm just let's just block it in real fast. Something like this. Now let's check some stuff. Oh, the beauties of digital with a perfect erase. If you draw light though, you can do the same thing. You just draw lightly while you're searching. This is like searching for the right lines and the right shapes. If you know what looks right, this works. Kind of figure out what looks right to you. See, that hand was much easier. Oh my goodness. That was much easier. That makes me happy. I was struggling with the other one. Hmm. All right, so I think the head was pretty close to where it needed to be. Just a small adjustment. And you see I kind of ghost in this line to see where I'm going to lay it down if I'm happy with that. And honestly, there's some weirdness going on because I was following the sketch. I'm going to make some adjustments. See, the reference I'm looking at has some finished figures. It also has unfinished figures, which I think it's fantastic. I love the fact that it does that. So I'm looking at the unfinished figures, which are his sketches. So there are going to be small things that are not perfect. And again, I'm actually happy for that. I think this is a great resource. And then he refines it with the on some of the ones. Some of them he refines it and he brings it to a higher level. I just think it's a great book. If and only if you get the printed back version of it. I am going to move this a little bit so I can really get at the hair a little bit better. Since she is flying, after all. Now we pay attention to the hairline. Now let's put in some different hairstyle. Each of these characters have a variety of hairstyles, which is kind of cool, actually. Trying to block in the big shapes on this, right? You don't want to draw every hair or every strand or anything like that. Just focus on the big forms, and it'll come together. She has hair sticking up in the back, and I think it's kind of funny. It's just, there you go. There's no shame. You didn't do your hair. I want to make this look a little bit better. I'm not quite happy with this. There you go. It's not bad. It's better. Now, do I have the proportions right? Let's do a sanity check here and just see. Now, if only you can actually see my hands, because I'm kind of measuring on my own screen real quick. Turn off my touch, and then do I think this is right? I don't. I don't think this is right. I think the leg needs to be longer, actually. What if we experimented with this? I like that. I like that. But this needs to be like down here. Like it needs to be a lot bigger. Let's put the foot down here. Let's just see if this looks right. An experiment. Maybe that's not the right location. So it's okay to make mistakes. You just keep working. So I still think that's right, but maybe it needs to be a little bit lower. Let's see. This is a little bit more of that scribbly technique I mentioned from How to Draw Marvel Comics. They're almost like painting, where you're finding the form and erasing, and or if you were painting, I guess you'd be painting back and forth into it, nor until you find the shapes that you like. I suppose that's one reason I don't like watercolor. So I like to paint back and forth into it, but I'm gonna try gouache because you can in gouache. There you go. That's quite a big difference. So all right, now we've done that. We also need to maybe increase this other leg a little bit too. No, that's true. It goes underneath this, doesn't it? Because it would connect behind or in this circular cavity there, the pelvis. At least that's how it has it in this. So I'm trusting this guy here because I don't have the leg anatomy completely memorized yet. At all, I should say. Let's do this. You know, I thought when I did the I did 20 males from without reference, and that I was pretty happy with how that went. So I hope that I can do justice to the female figure as well. But I know it's going to be hard, and I just remade that tangent that I was talking about before. Can I just... I hate that. I don't like that tangent. I don't like the tangent. I gotta do something. I have to do something to fix that. Unless I just... I mean, I guess the where it was right. Because we extended the leg out, but we've already extended the leg out, so maybe it would still come to the same point. And yep, it's smaller, but it's also farther away. Okay, I like that a lot better. This one's too short. So we're gonna erase. We're going to erase this. Is that right? There you go. Now we'll join these back up. There you go. I like that. All right, let's do some simple shading real quick. Oh wait, there's something I forgot. This is a female, right? And I'm gonna draw through a little. Well, I'm drawing so light you can't even see it, but you can barely see it. Right there. Don't forget what you're drawing. It's sitting on the rib cage. There you go. All right, now we'll do some shading. Okay, I don't understand how this guy's doing the lighting on this. I think it's supposed to be different than what I'm thinking of it. In which case, it's like this side is getting the shadow. Okay. So this is where he's not shading. This book is not shading correctly. They're just really quick rough sketches, and all the shading that you see in the book, if you actually pick it up, seems to be more of a design element to just help understand the sketch as opposed to make an accurately shaded picture. And I keep getting caught up on that a little bit. And I have to completely ignore what they do unless I want mine to be just a design element and not an actual, not realistic. Because it can be both. It can be design element and realistic, or not. I guess that puts her entire face in shadow, but all right, now the fun part. There you go. And my chair squeaks. Okay, so here you go. There's the end of the 30 figures. That's from 30 figures from reference. All right, if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like it. I am going to go ahead and head off. So we'll be back another time. So just remember, everybody, take care and God bless.